contracting with no pains since morning. No pains at all, but the contraction is getting stronger. I have antenatal tomorrow. Tomorrow is my 40 weeks. Let's sit down and talk about this. See, I feel so hot wearing this. This is the wig I stretched earlier. I was hoping that I could make videos today, but girl is so tired. I don't know what kind of tiredness is this. And since morning, I've been contracting. Since morning, I've been contracting strongly, but I'm not feeling any pain whatsoever. I don't have any pain. I've just been contracting. My stomach gets to a point where it feels like it wants to burst. But the only reason why I'm not rushing to the hospital or calling a doctor now is because tomorrow I have my 40-week appointment at the hospital, and so I'll just lay my complaint there instead of rushing off to the hospital today and get sent back, then coming back again the next. Finally, we made it to 40 weeks. According to scan, today is our 40 week of pregnancy. But if I do my own personal calculation or according to my app, today is my 39 weeks. I don't know how the scan got its own prediction, but the application I've been using ever since I got pregnant, I am 39 weeks today, but the hospital, that is tomorrow, but the hospital scan says I am 40 weeks today. But we're 40 weeks today, and we don't know if this contraction is a sign of labor or a sign of forced labor. So the app I've been using throughout this pregnancy journey is ovulation calendar. So in this video, I would like to share my pregnancy journey with you, journey so far. Hopefully you might learn something from it, you might relate with one or two things from it, and if there is any of those things you're related with, please don't forget to leave it in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video, and don't forget to share it to someone who may need it. I can remember before the pregnancy how much we wanted the baby, even though I for one wasn't bothered, but people were beginning to make comments, people were beginning to talk, and it was as if I didn't want to get pregnant. I just wanted to be a young woman with just a kid. A lot of people started talking, people were beginning to ask questions. Before I got pregnant too, I started having inconsistent menstruation after breastfeeding my baby. From that first time of, because I don't menstruate until after I finished breastfeeding my baby, my menstruation was so inconsistent. I would see it this month, next month is going to it will delay by 1 week, and then it will come the next week, then next upper month is going to it will delay again. And while all this will be happening, I'll be like, oh, maybe I'm pregnant. Maybe then I will do a test. I will do a pregnancy test, and it will come out negative. So this happened quite a number of times. I got worried. I got worried. I went to the midwives. They gave me advice. They gave me drugs to take. I started taking pregnancy vitamins. Like when you are pregnant, there are vitamins that you take during pregnancy. I started taking folic acid. I started taking B complex. I started taking just every drugs that a pregnant woman would not normally take. I was worried if I was getting into secondary barrenness, because what's the essence of missing your period when in actual sense you are not pregnant? It wasn't infection. I don't know if it's PCOS. I don't even know what it was at that point. But when I spoke to the midwife, she said I should calm down, I should take my vitamins, and I shouldn't stress that much. So I'm going to leave that video where I did my pregnancy test, which came out negative, in the cards up here. It was really an emotional moment for me. That was where I knew that I actually wanted to be pregnant. So even though it wasn't something that was on my mind, but when I missed my period, I remember that I actually want to be pregnant. I started taking the vitamins. When I started taking stopped stress a little, when I stopped worrying about the pregnancy, but I made sure I took those vitamins. I visited the hospital, I spoke with midwives. The next month I traveled back to school that period. I didn't know I was pregnant, so I traveled back to school for clearance. And when I go to school and things were just going anyhow, I couldn't clear. The strike started. I had to travel back to the east. While I was traveling back, I took the road, and I was just feeling that something is really growing inside me. Something is growing. Why am I feeling this way? If the driver enters any gallop, I feel pain. I feel like I was just feeling like something was growing inside me. And I got home that day by 10 p.m. Immediately I stopped. I went to a shop close by, got two test strip, and went home direct. So when I got, everybody was just looking, you're welcome, you're welcome. My mind was just go straight to the bathroom and check what is wrong with you before you lose this baby. So when I got into the bathroom, I just did a strip test, and there it was. I was pregnant. So I was really excited. The next morning, I told my husband. That was how I found out I was pregnant. It was that easy. The next thing that happened was I became sick. I started having morning sickness, so much morning sickness, and that I was wondering why. Because in my first pregnancy, I never noticed morning sickness. Every pregnancy is truly, truly different. I couldn't even do anything. I couldn't eat. If I eat, I was going to throw it out up. I started having tender breast, I started nausea, I started spotting, which is something I did not notice for my first pregnancy. So immediately I started spotting, I had to run to the maternity home where I always visit, and told them. They gave me vitamin K and other drugs to take, and asked me to stay on bed rest for at least 2 weeks, so I'll know what is wrong with me, that if I see any other blood, that I should come back to them. So that was how I was able to conquer that. It didn't come back again. So second trimester came with its own wahala. My stomach, which even at first trimester, my bumps was already becoming big. My bumps came out in full force. People started noticing. My face started changing. I started becoming darker. My neck became black. My face became dark. So I started becoming ugly. My nose started becoming big. Then the craving sets in. Guys, before, if you tell me about craving, I'll be like, those women are lying. They just want to eat good things. Don't mind them. There's nothing like craving. But in this pregnancy, I knew that there was something as craving. I would crave for a particular thing that I would cry if I don't get it. I started craving so badly. I would crave for fish. I would crave for food, cooked food. I would crave for soup. I would just crave for anything I crave for, and I don't get it, I would cry and cry as if I was a baby. So I started craving. Then the mood swings. See, I just wanted to quarrel all the time. If anybody offends me, I start crying. Just by talking to me anyhow, I was crying already. There was just a lot of things that got to me. Some things that were not necessarily some important. It was getting to me. Then the mood swing was bad. I wouldn't want my husband to stay anywhere close to me. I would want to, if he's not around, I would want him to get back home immediately. Come back here. I want to see you. Then when he's around, I don't want him to be around. I want him to leave the place immediately. I don't want to hear of sex. Like second trimester was a lot for me. It was just a lot for me. And then I was still having this sickness, this morning sickness, the headache, and then backache. Like I don't know what that was, but I had so much backache in this pregnancy that when I got to 36 weeks, the backache stopped. Like I was shocked. Why did it stop? This thing almost ruined my life. Why did it stop now that I was looking for it as a sign of pregnant the labor and delivery? So I had so much backache that sometimes I would literally roll on the floor, cry and cry and cry. Then I started going out, and every night I would sleep, and when I wake up, I would be crying for backache. I don't know what caused it, but the challenge of our bum becoming bigger in our second trimester became a challenge. My bums was as big as 9 months while I was 6 months. I couldn't bend. If I bent, plus the backache that I was experiencing became a problem. The third trimester came with its sleepless nights. But I think my third trimester was more relaxing until we got to 38 weeks, where we started contracting seriously, but not serious until today that it became serious. So we started contracting, and yeah, we started having other signs, discharge and the rest. But my discharge have not been that over or much. So we've gone through a lot in this pregnancy. There've been a lot of changes, there've been a lot of signs, there've been a lot of ups and downs. There have been a lot of antenatal visits. There have been a lot of food cravings. There have been just a lot of kicks, and this baby will not let me film him when he kicks. So I've left him alone. So there've been a lot of kicks. There've been a lot of just a lot of things, and I decided to share part of it with you guys. All right, guys, thank you so much. If and I'm hoping that before the end of tomorrow, I will be updating you guys that we have given birth. Maybe the next video you will see after this one should be my labor and delivery vlog, because the way I feel right now, I feel like my stomach is going to burst open, and I don't know if it's, but I don't feel any other pain. I just feel only contraction, and I want to start timing it now. Yeah, honestly, pregnancy will humble you. It has humbled me. I know. Looking at myself on this camera, I feel so ugly. But I know after this pregnancy, I'm gonna slay again. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for always coming back to my channel. See you guys in my next one.